we could go around and try to get more items, but I'm just gonna progress onward. Oop, lots of enemies. And since we're dealing with one of these guys, I am going to pick them off one by one. There's the worm destroyed. Let the ice bar get close to me. And voila. Now let me double check what my items are. Purple, orange, and orange. I'll go ahead and use the purple scroll. That way we can have a clear idea of where we're going. I don't want to use a lot of my really good items early on. I want to save them for later floors when things become more dangerous, and it'll be good to have them. I also want to make sure... Okay, I do have two chaos scrolls. I will need at least one by the time I hit floor 10. Now, let's deal with this guy. Threw an armor set at him. I just love the mental image of throwing in a set of armor at something and it dies. Now, what's this scroll? Purple. That was the search scroll. Right. Feels like you should have... Okay, yeah. Persistent little bugger. Oh, and there's the stairs. Let's just... get some more stuff. Take out these things. And there's a magician there. At this point, it'll be easy pickings. He says as he misses and promptly falls asleep. Again. Thankfully, the magician can also stall turns, which... by trying to make you sleep again, which will always fail. Now, our food level is at 44, so I'm gonna want to be careful about grabbing food from now on. I ate too much. If your food gets to 80 or higher, your character will start moving slower, which is a very bad thing if you're surrounded by enemies, and also just annoying as you have to move around to exercise off the food and get back down to 79 or lower. So for now, I'll want to avoid food as much as possible. That was an alarm tile, and that would cause enemies to chase us down. I want to say it also makes enemies that can't chase you into hallways, it makes it so that they can, but I don't have confirmation on that. Anyway, there's not that many enemies left on the floor, so it's more of a jump scare than anything. Now a pink ring. Okay, so if I need to exchange out rings, I'll just get rid of the excess for the armor or power-up rings. It is a good idea to have multiple flame rings, or blizzard, or lightning rings, as those are possible magic rings we can find as well. On to the next floor, and now we're at 5. And here we're starting to get introduced to a new enemy. First I'll deal with these ice bars. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay, I am starting to get surrounded, so I don't want to grab that food. I just described why. Yeah. Y'all come at me one at a time. You're kidding. Finally. There we go. Alright, so this enemy that is asleep right here is a robot. It's pretty tough at this stage. Not like impossible to defeat, but it's best to not disturb it. Unless you just absolutely want to fight everything. And a pit. Alright, time to get back up. They really want to extend my time in these floors, which I mean, it leads to more items, so I guess I can't complain. Alright. Well, I'm starting to at least two-shot or one-shot enemies with the lance, so maybe I can stick on the lance for a while. Secret door. And I forget where the stairs were. I think it was over to the bottom left corner of this map. I at least don't think you can get, like, multiple pits in a row. Like, fall down multiple floors in this game. You only fall down one floor at a time. Ah, here we are. Onward again. Now let's hope I can remember where that pit was. It'd be nice if there was a scroll that revealed traps, but sadly, that does not appear to be a thing. Ah, and here we have a bow. Bows are another type of weapon. They're kind of like shurikens in that they're ranged weapons and you get multiple uses of them, but you cannot use a shield while using them. Also, because they're already ranged, you can't throw a bow and arrow, as that's kind of redundant at that point. Oh, that was a ninja. And ninjas are basically worms but upgraded. They are pretty fast, and they can attack you at a range with their shurikens. These ones don't do much of anything else, but there are some later versions that are a bit nastier and have additional things they can do that are super annoying. Alright, so I'm gonna let the ice bar follow me here so I can pick off the snails one at a time. Come on. Snails are just super tanky. They always take a few hits, unless you're lucky. An extra shield, and we don't want to grab that food. We will grab a potion, however. Okay, green potion, power-up potions you want to use ASAP, because that's just a straight power point. And the higher power means things die faster. Red potion. What is this? We're in a pretty empty room, so it's safe to test this right now. That's a bad potion. Okay, this is chaos. Just like what chaos does to enemies, it makes us confused and move around in different directions for a while. As far as I know, there's no way to get rid of it other than just waiting it out. So, definitely not good if you're surrounded by enemies. There is at least one other enemy that can inflict chaos upon you in later floors. And I'll probably want to have anti-magic canes for when we arrive there. Red scroll. What does this one do? Your gear has been saved from rust. Okay, so there are also some enemies later on that can break your armor. That's not for till much later though, like mid-game. But at least now we know which scroll will protect them. Fittingly enough, I'm pretty sure it's one of the types of snails that can melt your armor. And weapon. I feel like they can also melt your weapons, but I'm not sure. Oh, that's a blitz cane and an anti-magic cane, okay. Yeah, just to show an example of what I mean about magic attacks. You know, let's try fighting a robot just to see how this goes. They're very tanky, and have a lot of health, and they deal a lot of damage, but they can still be fought. It's just not advisable, since you can't avoid them. And they, without armor, or even with armor, they tend to deal a lot of damage. It's a completely manageable problem, but it doesn't need to be a problem at all, basically. That's a way to be greeted into a room. Snail to the face. That's a lot of enemies. You know what? I can make this easier on myself. Ninjas can also follow you into hallways, so I'm gonna deal with the snails from a distance, so the ninjas have to wait. Or the ninja has to wait. So to use a bow, first you equip it, and then you use it. And we'll notice that my shield has been unequipped. And of course it is still possible to miss. But you get a good number of uses for each bow. Now, since the ninja fights, that the ninja can fight us from a range, it's a better idea to just attack it up close so we can deal good damage. And now we can just pick off the snails. Not sure how many uses each bow gets, or if it varies between different types of bows, but now this bow is done, so let's see. Yeah, snails, it feels like snails have a lot of health for how hard they are to hit. I guess that makes sense if you're considering the health corresponding to the shell on their back, being why they're so tanky. And we're out of bow. So we're gonna re-equip my shield, lance, and now we can charge ahead. And we're a soldier. Huh. Looking up here, it looks like this robot is on top of something. It looks like a weapon. I'm pretty sure I have the best weapons I can get on these floors, so it's probably not worth it. I'm tempted, but I think I'll just move on. I could also just awaken and try to get the weapon and then run for my life, but I think robots are very fast, so... Yeah, they're fast, and they can chase you in the hallways. They're also alerted by alarms. I forget if I mentioned that or not. Picked up a hand axe and the ring armor. Okay, ring armor is better than what we have, I'm pretty sure. So long as it's not cursed. Nope, everything has proper defense and attack points. Let's just see. Confirm. Yep, nothing unorthodox here at the moment. And now we have a new type of bat, the killer fly. They're fast, they go into the hallway, and they can attack you at range. Definitely don't let these things surround you. That robot is blocking the entry. You know, robots are actually a good place to use magic items. Right. There we go. That's a good use for magic items. Now we have an orange ring. What does this do? Lightning ring. Another magic item. Awesome. That is just a dead end. That is not a secret door. Okay. What are my scrolls looking like again? Another search scroll. Okay. There's a secret door. One at a time, please. You'll all get your beatings. Just one at a time. Okay, maybe the battle axe isn't the best option now. I'll switch to the lance. And there we see an amoeba, a better jelly. It's just stronger. A bit faster than the jelly. Time to heal. Thankfully, using a potion is a free turn. Like changing out equipment. Yeah, the damage numbers from these things are ranging quite wildly, from 1 to 12. These ninjas will try to chase us down every chance they get. Okay. I don't want to have to use more healing potions this early than I need to. A short sword and another ring armor. It'll actually be a good call for me to have multiple copies of my strongest armors. My strongest armor, helmet, and shield for when we do start dealing with the enemies that can melt equipment. Any secret doors? Nope. And our hunger is getting in. My hunger is getting in the range again that it'll be safe to eat one food. Okay, Okay, we're back up to full. And I didn't even need to use a healing potion. You wouldn't think a little eyeball would be so tanky. Yeah, now I want to avoid food. Let's discard this short sword and see what this is. A spear. A green cane. Do we know what that does? No, we don't. Another chaos scroll. Lovely. Gonna avoid that. And not have to deal with the robot. Neat thing is that also prevents the enemy respawn, since they are enemies. Some extra robots here. We'll just let them be. This is a predicament. Thankfully, I have several chaos scrolls. So we're just gonna let them not coordinate on us. Let's see what this green cane does. Green is fire. Alright. Oh, come on! Really? Well, that was a waste of an orange scroll then. Thankfully I still got a few. Just want to make sure I have one for floor 10. Oh, I had to take a fancy way to get into the stairway. Of course you're blocking the way forward. Of course you are. Glad the battle axe worked there. Was a little worried. Glad the battle axe worked there. I didn't see the robot in time. Was more than a little worried. There's a lot of robots now. I think I go through here. Yeah. Right, so let's avoid that corner. I'll get a bow. Let's see here. A longsword. That's the second level sword, so that's good. That's just a hand axe. And a short sword. Okay. We'll switch out the short swords for the hand axe. And I already used an orange scroll on that floor. So, I won't do it again. Alright, and this eye popping out of the floor is a big eye. Thankfully, it can't bounce on us in this case. Takes a lot of damage, wow. Also dishes out a lot of damage, and I am not damaging it. So, let's just, poke it out of the floor. That works. Now, naturally, given how it acts, it can't follow you into hallways. Okay, let's not die here, stupidly. And I've got enough health now that the heal potion did not, fully heal me. And there's another shuriken. So I will switch out one of my hand axes. I've got quite a few throwing items. That's a dead end. Let's start throwing things. The big eye does have ranged attack, so it's not like we can completely avoid damage here. But we don't need to be hit by the melee attack, at least. And hey, we're dealing consistent damage this way. I say that now. Oh, come on, you. Fine, we'll poke you in the eye. Right. So hypnosis and anti-magic. And what sword did I get? Longsword. Nice. Do I have a search scroll? I do not. I'm gonna want to hold on to those red scrolls. Dead end. Is this the loop? The spiraling floor? No, I think that's later. It's just you, so I can fight you directly. Probably actually shouldn't. Definitely don't want to throw that. We'll just use one of these right now. You're enough of a pain. Another secret door. And we've got killer flies. Definitely don't want to get surrounded there. And we see the next level magicians, which are wizards. They're the ones whose magic can cause you to go, be confused. And I think that also works even if you're moving, unlike the hypnosis magic. That said, they can't really do much if you're not moving. So as long as I position myself, I could even just use an anti-magic cane here. I think I will. Save myself the headache. This is the last floor before floor 10. And I'm about to die. Right, let's see. Yeah. Now their magic is gonna fail. Voila! Yellow ring. Let me just remind myself, okay. I'm going to want to start exchanging out brown ring and the pink rings as I find things. Okay, just reminding myself what I have. Have to do that a lot. Oh, a green potion, right. That's a power-up. That is just a dead end. There is nothing in there. Alright, the stairs are right there. I'm just gonna explore around just a bit more. See if I can find anything. It feels like there should be a secret door somewhere around here. Up. There, the enemies have respawned. Right, so I think I will be on my way then. And now we're at floor 10, and basically we're in the mid-game as signified by the music and tile set change. Given that, I'm going to call a quick refreshing pause to make sure everything's right with the recording, and make sure I know what's coming ahead. Or that I remind myself what's coming ahead.